Hi, everybody. So why did we write this book? The first is to synthesize and organize the contributions of many instructors over the last 6 years. So to have these learning days, we've shared written and rewritten slides and spent many hours discussing how best to structure a workshop like this. And we wanted to have that solidified and ready to share. The second is that we wanted to empower our colleagues in the Global South with that accumulated experience. We want to make it easier for our colleagues to share their knowledge and to build South-South networks, in part by supporting organizing their own workshops for their own local communities of scholars and practitioners. And third, we wanted to create a platform for comments and improvements going forward. This is a public good, and we're looking forward to your contributions. And then finally, participants frequently ask us for workshop materials, and sometimes they come with research questions and settings that call for more complex designs than we can really get into in a one-week format. So we wanted participants to have these materials organized so they can review them, but also create a way for participants to engage in further in-depth study beyond the workshop. And next slide, please. Oh, no, sorry, this is the correct slide. So this might be a little repetitive, but we envision 3 different types of users. The first, of course, is these instructors and organizers of workshops similar to the Learning Days. And some of these will be Learning Days alumni. The second is participants who want to share knowledge at their home institutions after spending time with us. And the third is participants who want to just refresh on the materials. And to make sure we reduce barriers to use, we're working on translations into Spanish and French. And we've also already heard that some of our EGAP colleagues have pointed their students and research team to the resource, and we just hope the book is used widely. So, as Jake will demonstrate in a minute, the book is organized as modules that are linked to one another. The first thing to note about this is that many of these modules are built around the methods guides written by EGAP members that we agree are the core approaches to these topics. And as these ideas and methods are extended, we'll continue to update the book. And then second, we've expanded on some of the topics we usually cover in the Learning Days. And what's new and what's expanded is marked on the slide. So there's a lot of new material for hypothesis testing, estimands and estimators, statistical power and design diagnosans, building on the Declare Design project, which I see several of the authors of that project on the call today. And we also have an expanded glossary. And we also have added some new modules on the research design process, which we talk about throughout the Learning Days, but is its own section now. We've also added modules on measurement and ethical considerations. So now let me turn this over to Jake, who will actually walk you through the book.
You're muted, Jake.
I'm going to share my screen here just to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're doing. So this is the book. The book is currently what you're seeing is a web page, and I wanted to, before I continue with the book, I wanted to give you a preface, which is that this book is designed to be improved and changed over time. It's got kind of a living thing. It was created by 3 social scientists with lots of experience in teaching at the Learning Days, but no experience making websites, or producing beautiful books. So anybody who is listening, we would love input from you in how to make things work better. We hope, however, by making it public, and I'm going to show you a little bit what I mean by making it public, and also by translating it, that'll help improve the material faster and make the book and all of the resources more and more useful as we go along. Maybe we should have just put in the chat a link to the book.
I'll add that.
Yeah, thank you. That way people can, you can poke around. Okay, so and in terms of improving the book, you can email us, as we say here. We'd love to hear from you. You can provide us input via issues on GitHub, which I'm going to show you here. This is our to-do list for the book, and you can see that I have I've written down that we'd like to improve the HTML slides in the future. And I found some links that were broken this morning when I was playing with the book. So I put the to-dos in, and now we all know about them. We can discuss them and we can improve them. We also included this ability here to make notes on the page. So if I don't like the word, book, and I would prefer the word tome, I can add that. And then now we will know, we can have a debate about whether I should use old-fashioned words like tome or not. And we can have a discussion about that. I'm going to delete that for now because, of course, that's a joke comment. Now, about the book itself, it's an HTML version. Up here, you can download a PDF version or an EPUB version. We've spent much less time on making those look beautiful, but you can download it for offline use. And the book really is a set of modules that link to different topics. So for example, under the randomization topic, we provide a little bit of overview about what are we talking about? What is randomization? What are the key takeaways from say a day or a morning of discussing randomization? For example, random assignment is not the same as random sampling. Further into each of the modules, we have links to slides. So for example, we could look at the PDF of the slides. It begins by saying randomization, that's the topic of, say, the lecture for the day. Fill in your name, and that's because this is for an instructor to fill out. We would like instructors to change and improve these slides as we go, for example. The slides are just like academic slides, too many words, quite boring, but exciting for people who want to, say, use code, learn to actually randomize, get their hands dirty, for example. Okay. We also include links to the EGAP methods guide. So for example, here's a methods guide about how to do randomization, which also includes code. So you can learn to you can dig further into it. All the slides used by previous presenters, as well as links to textbooks and policy briefs. So examples of designs throughout the book. The other thing to point out is that since this is for instructors, we have the slides themselves are in a separate, where are we? Here. They're in a separate repository, and this may be the first time many of you have seen GitHub, but this is a way that people collaborate on code or on plain text. So if I was an instructor, I could make a copy of all of this and make, say, changes to the randomization slides. Maybe I'd fill in my name here, for example, or make any changes, and then any improvements I make, I could contribute back to the main repository. And we could be happy to talk more about those processes of improvement as we go along.